If this video reached you today, it's precisely because the universe is preparing a transformation in your life from now on. So commit to watching it until the end for 7 consecutive days. Use this mental filter and others' opinions will become irrelevant. The 3 gates of Epictetus to freedom. There is a prison in which we have all lived at some point. It has no iron bars or stone walls. Its walls are invisible, built from the most fragile yet most powerful material that exists, the opinion of others, the fear of what they will think, the anxiety before making a decision, the mental rehearsal of every word, the paralysis in the face of judgment. This prison robs us of our greatest possession, our freedom. The freedom to be authentic, to follow our own path, to live according to our own values. But what if I told you that the Stoics created the key to this prison? A mental filter, a 3-gate system that you can use to examine every opinion, every criticism, and every compliment that comes your way, deciding what gets in and what stays out. The title of this video is A Promise of Liberation. We will teach you how to build and use the 3 gates of Epictetus, a method to make the opinions of others not a threat, but simply information, and most of the time, irrelevant information. Before we build our gates, go to the comments and tell me which type of opinion affects you the most, that of close ones, colleagues, or online strangers. Let's begin the journey to your mental sovereignty. The mistake that makes us prisoners is that we treat every opinion as if it has a diplomatic passport with unrestricted access to our minds. We let it in without question, and it wreaks havoc on our peace. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who was a slave before becoming one of Rome's most influential teachers, knew a thing or two about freedom. Freedom, for him, was not an external condition, but an internal discipline. The filter we are about to learn is that discipline in action. Every opinion that comes your way must pass through 3 security gates before it is granted permission to affect your emotional state. Gate 1, the gate of control. The first and most important gate is the dichotomy of control, the foundation of all Stoicism. Before you even analyze the content of an opinion, you must analyze its origin. The gates test. Do this. When an opinion, criticism, or compliment comes your way, the first question you must ask yourself is the thought inside this other person's head under my absolute control? The answer is, and always will be, a resounding no. What others think, feel, or say belongs to their universe, not yours. To try and control it is the definition of insanity. This first gate doesn't aim to invalidate the opinion, but to neutralize its power to hurt you. Imagine your mind is a sovereign country and you are the border guard. The opinions of others are travelers trying to enter. The first standard procedure is to check the passport. By applying this gate, you stamp the opinion's passport with the label foreigner, external. You acknowledge that it is not a citizen of your inner world. This simple categorization creates an immediate psychological distance. The pain of criticism comes from our mistaken belief that the other person's opinion has some jurisdiction over our worth. This gate reminds us that they have no such authority. What they think is their property, and what we do with what they think is ours. With this separation, the opinion has already lost most of its venom. Gate 2, the gate of character. Let's say an opinion passed through the first gate. You've acknowledged it's external, but it still bothers you. Now it arrives at the second checkpoint, the gate of character. Here, we do not analyze the opinion itself, but the source of the opinion. The gates test. Do this. For the person whose opinion is affecting you, ask yourself a series of honest questions. Do I admire this person's character? Is the life they lead, the decisions they make, the way they treat others an example for me? Are their values noble? Is this person someone I would aspire to be? If the answer is no, Then why, in the name of the gods, are you giving their opinions so much weight? Marcus Aurelius marveled at the paradox of how we, who often don't respect each other, still desperately crave one another's approval. If a colleague known for being envious and lazy criticizes your effort, their opinion should carry the same weight as a distant dog's bark. It's just noise. Think of it like investment advice. Would you take financial advice from someone who is bankrupt? Obviously not. So why would you accept life advice or a judgment of your character from someone whose life is a demonstration of poor moral investments? This gate teaches you to be selective. Most of the opinions that hurt us come from unqualified sources. By applying this filter, you are not being arrogant, you are being wise. You are choosing your mentors carefully. The opinion of a true sage, of a mentor you respect, that is one that deserves to pass to the next gate. But the opinions of the noisy, characterless crowd, they are stopped here. Gate 3, the gate of utility. An opinion has managed to pass the first two gates. It's external, you know that. And it comes from someone you respect, a friend, a mentor, a family member whose character you admire. It is still not granted permission to enter your citadel and cause havoc. It must pass the final test, the gate of utility. The gate's test. Do this. Now finally you look at the content of the opinion, but you do so like a surgeon, not a patient. You remove all the emotional charge, be it the pain of a criticism or the sweetness of a compliment, and you analyze the raw information with a single question. Is there anything here I can use to become a better person? If the opinion is a criticism, like I think you were a bit aggressive in that meeting, your task is not to get defensive or feel ashamed. It is to dissect. Is there a grain of truth in this? Could I have communicated my idea with more temperance? What can I learn about my communication style? If the answer is yes, you extract the lesson like a miner extracts a diamond from rough stone. You give thanks for the information, even if only mentally. Use the lesson to grow and discard all the rest. The way it was said, the tone, your initial emotional reaction. And what if it's praise? You were brilliant in that meeting. The same applies. Your task is not to let it inflate your ego, which would make you vulnerable to the absence of praise in the future. It is to analyze what specifically worked. What principle did I apply that led to a good result? How can I replicate that virtue in the future? You extract the lesson, not the poison of vanity. This gate ensures that everything that enters your mind is raw material for your growth, not for your fragility. Freedom is not a place where nobody judges you. That place does not exist. True freedom is an internal system so robust that the judgment of others loses the power to define you or disturb you. The 3 gates of Epictetus are that system. The gate of control. Recognize the opinion is external. The gate of character. Evaluate if the source is worthy of respect. The gate of utility. Extract the lesson and discard the drama. When you internalize this process, you become the master of your own peace. The opinions of others transform into what they truly are, just words, just sounds in the air. Some are useful, most are just noise. And you, the gatekeeper, finally have the power to choose. The quest for everyone's approval is a race no one has ever won. The quest for your own approval, measured by the ruler of virtue and reason, is the only victory that truly matters. Now go back to your comment, close ones, colleagues, or online strangers. Reply to it with the word freedom. It is your declaration that you are taking control of the gates of your mind. If this guide has given you the keys to your prison, subscribe to the channel.